Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Brave Enough to Talk podcast. This is your boy Cousin Marcus, and I kind of want to talk about a subject that kind of was brought up to me recently, and it's not being afraid to celebrate your accomplishments, not being afraid to celebrate your wins and the things that are going well in your life. It's easy to talk about everything that's going wrong and the things that are bothering you. But sometimes it feels like we struggle to talk about when things are going right. That you hear it a lot in music or in like famous rap songs, like with Lil Wayne, "Real G's moving silence like lasagna," things like that. People don't want to broadcast good things that they got going on with their lives for fear of people hating on you or people trying to rain on your parade or people, praying on your downfall. There's a lot of that rhetoric that goes around where it's like, man, there's haters out there, haters, 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 or people, they're praying on your downfall, which is not necessarily wrong, but at the same time, should not deter you from wanting to celebrate and talk about when good things are going for you. When good things are for you, they're for you, and there's nothing that someone else can do about it. You feel me? You understand me? And a good example of that is a friend of mine, really good friend of mine, came up, called me a couple days ago, and said, "Hey, man, guess what happened?" I'm like, What happened?" I just became a nurse practitioner. I just passed the exam to become a nurse practitioner. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, that's amazing! Congratulations!" And the thing is, I kind of saw them post like a snippet of it on social media on a story and then delete it. And then like I kind of liked it, and I don't know if she had noticed it or not, but she called me and was talking about it, and was like, "Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should, put it out there, let people know that I passed and I'm a nurse practitioner now, a different tax bracket, the whole 9 yards. This is huge accomplishment in the nursing world, in the medical world, you know what I mean? To go from being an RN or a BSN to becoming a nurse practitioner, basically a doctor of nurses, you know what I mean? And that's huge. It's an amazing accomplishment. But being afraid to share that with people, that idea is insane. You should be excited. You should be ecstatic to be able to tell the world from the top of the mountains through the every air from your lungs to say, look what I've just done. And you should be able to hope that people will be excited for you. And I truly was. I was extremely excited for her and her accomplishment. But I do understand, you know, realistically, sometimes you fear that because you don't want people to treat you differently when you accomplish things because maybe they might compare themselves to you and things like that and start treating you differently. Oh, you think you're better than me because you're accomplishing these things, and I get it. I understand it all too well. Like when I travel, for the longest times, I would not share my travels online because I was like, well, I don't want people to think I'm showing off or that I think I'm better than them. I wouldn't share all of the accomplishments that I've had in my life and all of the great things because I didn't want people to feel like I thought I was better than them just because they might be at a different point in their lives in comparison to myself. But just because someone has that good job, just because someone travels the world, just because someone has this education or have these things going for them, does not mean that they're better than you as a person. You know what I mean? It's just that you don't know what these people are going through behind closed doors to reach these accomplishments. You don't know what struggles someone goes through in order to get where they are. And just because this person is taking leaps and bounds and growing does not mean that they look down on you for not being in the same position that they are. That's not always the case. Not everybody who is accomplished or who is making accomplishments sees everyone else as beneath them, and that's not always the case. Um, and like I said, I get it because there's things that happen to me where it's like I kind of question and wonder, and I say nothing. I just kind of, I would love to tell somebody. I would love to be able to be excited and talk about an accomplishment or something that I've done with other people, but you're afraid of looking, you know, as if you're showing off, and it's a shame. It's a shame. And what I told her was, you cannot, limit yourself or tone yourself down because of other people. At the end of the day, you're a good person. You're always going to be a good person. Just continue to be that. There's nothing wrong with highlighting your accomplishments. Because look at the bright side, the good things that you're doing in your life, the positive things that you're doing in your life, the accomplishments that you are achieving can be an inspiration to someone else. You can be inspiring the next person to make a leap forward, to do the same things that you are doing, or even better, because they saw you as like a goal, as a standard to reach. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, for the longest time, like I said, I would not share my travels and things like that because I didn't want people to feel like, who don't go places or who, don't travel as much, to feel like, oh, Marcus thinks he's better than everybody else. He's showing his trips to Japan. He's showing his trips all around Europe and South America and in Asia and things like that, in Africa or wherever. And I didn't want people to think, well, man, I don't want people to think, I think I'm better than nobody. I'm showing off, but that's not the case. No. What came into perspective is my aunt. My aunt spoke to me on the phone and she was like, Marcus, I love when this was unsolicited. I said nothing of it. And she said, I love when you post your travels online. And I was like, you do? She was like, absolutely. It's such an inspiration. And when I see your travels, I live vicariously through you. A lot of these places I've never been and I never will be. But because I see your travels, I see the videos you create, you showcase the locations, show the areas, I would have never had any idea of what these places look like if it wasn't for you posting it online. And then she said that my mother called me on the phone and talked about how excited she is to see like the pictures and videos of my travels. Friends on, like, especially in like the Facebook community, more of the older people use Facebook. I don't use my Facebook anymore, but when I travel, I like to post on Facebook for that reason, because I know that there's people back home who do appreciate, the older people and stuff, that do appreciate the journeys, the travels, and to be able to see what the world looks like through my lens, because they're not able to do so. It's inspiring to the younger kids when I post it on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, to see, they're like, oh wow, Marcus comes from my neighborhood. I don't see a lot of people doing those things, and he does it. And it inspires me to want to be like him when I get older, or be better than him when I get older. I hope that when I post things online and I accomplish new things, people look at it from that perspective, not to say like, oh, he thinks he's better than us, but to say, wow, look at where he's been. This is such an inspiration to me that I want to do the same things. I want to be able to accomplish things like this, or accomplish more. That's how I look at it. You shouldn't be ashamed of the good things that are coming into your life. Just like you accept the bad, you should be accepting the good. You know what I mean? Just like when things are going wrong in your life and you need somebody to talk to about it, to kind of get the burden off your shoulder, you should do the same thing when good things are happening in your life, in hopes to be an inspiration to someone else, and in hopes to uplift someone else when they're going through issues, going through problems, or in a mood, in a rut, in a position that makes them feel like things are hopeless. But because you are showing them that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that may inspire them to get out of that dark place. That's how I look at it. I feel like you should be able to share when good things are happening to you. And with that being said, I think that we all should take inspiration from other people. There's something you can learn from literally almost everybody. There's not one person who can't learn from someone else. And there's nothing that you have that it could not, that isn't valuable to someone else. Everything that we know, everything that we do can be an inspiration to someone else. We all have a wealth of knowledge. We all have some level of, quality that we can bestow upon someone else to give them, um, you know, a lead in life, a way forward. And I think there's not enough of that sometimes. Like I said, you see it in the music, or you see it in television when people say to do things in private. Don't broadcast everything that you're doing, and which to an extent is true. You don't want everybody to know every single thing that's going on in your life. I get it. I mean, there's safety reasons. I can come up with another number of reasons why not. You know what I mean? If I'm traveling, I'm not going to put in real time, hey, I'm in, I don't know, Costa Rica right now. I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks. I'm not going to put that on social media in real time, obviously, because people know you're gone. Someone can break into your house because they know that you're gone, or for safety. You don't want to do that. Those are obvious things you post after the fact for safety reasons. I know I'm not naive. I understand that. But at the same time, like I said, you should not be ashamed of good things that are happening in your life. You have a kid, you start a family, you get married, you know what I mean? You got a promotion, you got a new job, things like that. You should be proud of those things that are happening for you. You should be able to tell at least one person, hey, man, look what just happened to me. When positive things happen, what's the first thing you want to do? You want to share. You want to share with somebody, but then you feel restricted. You're like, oh, I really can't. I shouldn't because X, Y, Z. Come up with all these reasons why you shouldn't share your accomplishments. You should absolutely share that with other people. Um, but like I said, I get it. I get it. It's that idea is reinforced by music, television, things like that to say keep it to yourself. And I like I said, I get it. But just an idea of some good things going on for me. You know, I've started doing some. I've been in some situations that I'm trying to get into acting. I got auditions and stuff going on. I got called just 2 days ago to be considered for a movie shoot, which is super cool. Will I get the part? Who knows? But people are interested in me in audition. They're like, hey, look, we would love you to audition for this movie. For a movie? That's insane. I'm just a regular dude from a small town in Louisiana. You know what I mean? To be in a movie is insane to me. But I'm sharing this with you guys. Will it happen? Who knows, man? But it's something positive going on in my life. I just got 100% of my health care and stuff with the VA. I can go to the dentist for free now. I can go to the dentist for free. That's an amazing accomplishment. You know what I mean? Another thing I'm about to start school in the spring. I'm gonna go back to college again in the spring. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get a degree again. I'm gonna work on something else. I want to get into nursing. Those are good things going on in my life that I want to share. It's a lot of positivity. And you should work on trying to do the same thing for yourself. When good things are happening, you should be willing to share. You should be excited to share. You shouldn't feel ashamed about positive things going on in your life. You know, take that time to ask your friends, ask family. When you talk to people, when you get on the phone with somebody and you're just asking them how their day is going, tell me something new. That's what I like to tell people when I get on the phone with somebody. I'm like, what's new? Tell me what's new. What's going on? What's something positive you got going on in your life right now? And I love hearing people light up over the phone. They're like, oh man, let me tell you about what just happened to me. One thing that me and my buddies like to do, and I hope this could inspire you as well, and something might find interesting. And I got the inspiration from my wife because she does it with her group of friends. And once a week, we make a video and we send it to each other about all the positive things going on in our life in the moment. Just kind of like an update, a status update. Man, let me tell you, I just got married. Man, let me tell you, I just got a promotion. Man, let me tell you, I just had a baby. Anything like that. Anything. If it's positive, I want to know about it. And I hope that maybe that's something that you can try out with family members or friends, or, just people that you're close to. And just in general, whenever you're speaking to someone and you're asking them how you're doing, and enough time to have like a conversation where it's in public or at work or on the phone with friends or whoever, tell me what's new, what's something positive going on in your life this week, today, this month, depending on how long it's been since the last time you guys spoke. Try to, incite some positivity into someone. You know what I mean? But that's just something that I kind of wanted to talk about for a little bit. That's kind of how I was feeling. I've been feeling super positive this week. And I just wanted to incite some of that positivity with other people. Um, and if you got something positive going on in your life, please share. Share with me, what do you have going on this week that you're super excited to talk about, or last week, or since the last time we might have talked? What's something that you got going on? And I hope that you always have something good going on. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, be brave enough to talk. Talk about it. Tell us about those positivities that you got going on in your life. Inspire someone else. Never be ashamed of what you got going on. Be proud of it. And until next time, it's Cousin Mark.